Hey, this is Prometheus giving you a offensive breakdown. Now, this is going to be the Cleveland playbook, and this is a playbook I just recently pulled. Cleveland's got a lot of great formations. It's got the Pro Twins. It's got Strong. It actually has split close Browns, which is a split close formation. It also has your basic bunch formation offset. It's got tight doubles on. A lot of depth. It's got like a wing trio type formation and all that stuff. So it's got a lot of great formations in here that a lot of things are getting run online. So I want to go ahead and show you just the formation I don't think that's been broken down a lot is going to be doubles, gun doubles. This is a formation I use a lot in previous Madden games. I gravitated away from it as I've been breaking down schemes, but this is a scheme that you can do. Now, one of the things I want to do too, because this has actually got a fairly good running scheme, I want to go ahead and take my tight end and put him in the slot position, so that provides me a little bit extra blocking. So let's go ahead and take a look at the plays we're going to break down, starting with the audibles and then a couple of the base plays I'll pick. So the audibles we're going to be looking at is going to be slants. That's a good thing to utilize if you want to pick up a fairly easy first down with the slant streak concept. Also, great inside run. Inside zone is a phenomenal run. It's great to have in audibles that then you know you can get fairly good yards and you can build a scheme off of it. Y sail is basically a very good play to use that you've got the sail concept off with a corner flat streak off the right hand side. It's good to go ahead and have that in your scheme. And then the play action read has got a nice little inside route by the slot receiver that actually is a good man beater. If you motion it over to the other side, it's a speed out essentially. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the base plays we're going to go ahead and pick to actually build this scheme out. One of which is going to be the 0-1 trap, and the other base play we're going to use in this particular scheme is going to be the skinny post. This is a great play out of shotgun that is usually in ace formations, but is available in shotgun. There's some other good plays in here, but those are going to be the two that I'm going to use to build this entire scheme out. Alright, so the base play I'm going to usually come out, and majority of the time is going to be the 0-1 trap because this provides me a running scheme off to the right side, and then I can audible into the inside zone off the left side. So my inside zone is going to take me off to the left side. I've got my base play, which would be the 0-1 trap off to the right. Now what I'm going to do is, because I put my tight end in the slot position, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and motion my tight end over. I'm going to snap the ball right at as he reaches the tackle, and that should give me some good blocking right up through this through the middle to pick up an easy 5 or 6 yards. So even in a stacked situation, you still will get pretty good blocking to be able to pick up some tough yards. So your opponent is probably going to do a lot of different things. One of the things you need to pay attention to is that basically once that left guard gets covered up, that means someone's going to be able to come in. So what you can do is you can switch into an inside zone, which will actually take you off to the left hand side, and that'll actually bring you a nice little hole. So that's what I like about this particular formation, is that it's going to be a very easy adjustment. You've got your motion guy off the line of scrimmage. You can snap the ball pretty quickly and have a run off to the right and off to the left, and that's what I do like about this scheme. Alright, so the other base play I'm going to use is going to be skinny post, and what I like about skinny post is that it's got those post routes that actually get in a unique area of the zone. It blows up a lot of cover 3s and cover 4s because they just get in between the safeties, and they'll actually be in a very good position. When I do this particular play, what I like to do is I like to take the tight end and put him in an in route, and the reason I do that is because it will actually bring those yellow zones down to defend it. And if I want to give my opponent the same look, I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick motion and snap the ball immediately as soon as I motion the ball. And as you can see right here, he gets inside the yellow zone or the safety, and you can pick up major yards, a good 20 or 30 yards on this play. So this is a good play to actually go ahead and pick as your base play. Now, if a defender does not come into the area, you can always go ahead and dump it to the crossing area over the top or into the flat. The backside skinny post 2 should be wide open depending on how many defenders you've got. Now I've got another defender off here, he floats off, but you can see right here I'm able to go ahead and do an inside pass leak and pick up good 15 yards off the top. So that's what I do like about this play. Alright, so the first audible is going to be slants, and what I like to do is I like to streak up my slot receiver and my number 1 receiver, and that the reason why is that it gives me fairly fast progressions. And you know, you can audible these guys up to the line of scrimmage fairly quickly to do that. Now you can either show the motion or not. I recommend on this particular play you do not motion your slot receiver, you just try to snap the ball fairly quickly. And my progressions are going to be from left to right, Now if the defender that's over Barnage, basically, let me go ahead and highlight him. The defender over Barnage comes down and presses. I'm going to try to go ahead and throw to Hawkins, basically over the middle. If not, if the zone is clear, I'm going to go ahead and look to the right side. I'll hit my tight end number 2, which is going to be Dre, into the flat, and then obviously take a shot up top with Benjamin. But this is going to be where my money is going to be at right here, is that route right there, because he's not going to be used to defending against that. Alright, so now we've got several different players rolling over here, and the flat is wide open, so I can always go ahead and take that. Looked like it was a cover 2 defense right there. So once again, now this is single coverage, so when you got the single coverage you want to try to go for that. Usually with more athletic wide receiver you'll probably come down with that ball, but that's what I like about this particular play, is that it stretches the field and also provides you a nice little underneath route that you can pick up some fairly easy yards, or maybe a tough first down when you need it. Now the next play is going to be the Y sail, and what's great about the Y sail is off to the right hand side you've got a flat, you have a deep corner, and you've got a streak concept. So if you want to go ahead and make that corner route a little bit faster release, you can go ahead and hot route it. Obviously if you have it down a distance that's more than maybe 10 yards, you might want to just leave it stock, but hot routing it will actually make that outcut a little bit different. Now what you can do is you can go ahead and take the backside with your slot receiver and put him on a slant. And if you want to, you can go ahead and motion him, still giving your opponent the same look, and then you just dump it down to the check down with the running back. So once again, same look. Go ahead and dump it down, and that running back is wide open. This time we'll be able to go ahead and get the ball to him and pick up some fairly easy. So the key to this play is actually doing the motion, and the reason why is that you want to have your opponent defending against that run. So I'm really going to use the motion receiver to kind of tell me what type of coverage I have. If the defender that's over the motion receiver comes and follows, that means most likely I've got man coverage. Now on the backside I always have this deep in route. In routes are fairly effective against man coverage, and they should get the release. There's no safety help over the top, so that could have been a check down. I can go to the right side, but really I want to try to focus on the right side of the field here. This defender is out here in the area, and the corners generally by the tight end is going to be wide open too, and I've got single coverage. So this is a man blitz. As you can see, I got rid of the ball really quick. So even though the pressure is coming in, there's six people coming against me, I still was able to get rid of the ball fairly quick, forcing my opponent to probably manually defend it with just a cover 0 blitz. And really any kind of shade coverage, you've got an inside and you have an outside release, so one of these two guys are going to break open, so that's why you want to make that progression starting from the inside and then out. Another thing too, if you got a guy that's pressing a lot and you just need a better release, you can go ahead and just take your guy, just put him in a drag route and just dump it underneath. The drag route should get better separation against a defender. So better separation. You see right here, and the drag route, because it's complemented by a corner and flat, it's going to get very good separation. So those are a couple things that you can do. I like a slant route just because it gets more depth. That means I'm going to get more yardage on that, and you can leave it. You can just snap the ball and leave it stock. And just take the progressions and see what's given to you. What we're going to look at is going to be play action and read. Now what's great about this particular play is that you've got a lot of options with this particular play. You've got a man beater that you can utilize. You've also got levels concepts that actually can beat your opponent against man coverage, and you can really once you start picking up on your opponent's tendencies, then you can basically you'll understand how you can run this play, or you can actually switch up the way you run this play. Now if my opponent's using a lot of man coverages, what I want to do is the following things. What I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and take my running back and put him on a option route, and I'm going to go ahead and take my wide receiver, my tight end number 2 or tight end number 1, and motion him over, and I'll just snap the ball. And what happens is that I've got basically a quick out, and then I've got an option route by the running back that I can dump the ball down and get some in. As you can see right here, this is going to be basically kind of a quick out. See, he gets a very good separation right here, and I could have got rid of that ball, but because it's close to the sideline, I chose not to do that. One of the good things about this particular route here too is once he gets to the sideline, he actually curves up down the sideline. So against like a cover 3 or a cover 2, he's going to be into a zone that's actually going to go ahead and pick up a pretty monster yard. So if you got an opponent that uses a lot of cover 2, you can actually utilize that as a good route. Now this is a block and release, so he will pick up 6 blocker, and I use the option route with the running back because then if it's basically zone, he'll settle in right here, or if it's man, he'll actually break out. So that's why I went ahead and did the man read and able to pick up a good 10 yards with that. On the backside, I've got a deep post, which essentially is going to pull away 2 defenders from that sideline. So that's where you can pick up some pretty monster yards. Then you got a deep into, which is always good against man coverage. And some zone coverages too. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the play the same. I'm going to go ahead and motion over. First read is going to be Barnage. Usually you want to run this play. Let's see here. See, you can see right here he's wide open. Nobody's in the area. It looked like it was a cover 3 shell. So that's my first progression is going to be Barnage, and then I'm going to go ahead and look to the running back next. And if nobody comes out to Barnage, I'm going to my slot receiver. I'm going to go ahead and just take that easy yards, 10, 15 yards. Now the other way I can run this bigger play is the following. I can go ahead and take my tight end and put him on a drag route, and then I can go ahead and motion my wide receiver and snap the ball right away. Now this has got basically it's got a makeshift screen that you have put in here with the running back, the way this play works, and it's going to give the impression that you're running the ball. The only thing I don't like about these particular plays is that you've got basically the the animation of the handoff, and sometimes if you've got a guy that does a lot of pass committing, that can actually put you in a bad situation. So this is just a quick little play that you can do, especially if he's leaving the flats open. You got to check down, you've got a blocker as a running back, you can check up to the tight end and attack your opponent off to the left side too. So really depending on what direction your opponent is using, you can actually go ahead and decide to go ahead and use this play. So this is a very good play, and if you keep showing the motion, he's going to keep thinking he's got to defend against the run. And you've got basically levels concepts that you can attack your opponent with different places. So if you do like these breakdowns, you like how I break down books and provide this information, hit the like button. If you guys run any other additional plays in the Cleveland doubles, go ahead and tell me what you do, what plays you like, and how do you set them up, just so we can share it with people. Obviously people are looking for plays out of the Cleveland playbook. I'm assuming a lot of these concepts are going to carry over to Madden 17, so it'd be fair for you to assume that stuff. So if you're making progressions, you're making reads, and you're following concepts, those concepts should work in the game too. If you have any, once again, to my subscribers, I really appreciate your support. Thanks for